Good morning. So happy to see you guys. Mm, good morning. Let's start with meditation. Take your attention inside. And first of all, let's drop anything that's extraneous in our fields. Take a deep breath. Let everything that doesn't serve just fall away. Everything that doesn't serve the highest fall away. Take a deep breath all the way down to your home base safe place underneath the belly button. Allow your attention to drop into that space. And just feel everything else draining out of your system. And as you feel ready, drop your attention into the center of the earth. And as you're ready, gently bring your attention back up to the tip of the tailbone. And now feel your breath on the in breath. Feel for the tip of your tailbone going slightly backwards. And then there's a still point. And then on the exhale, it moves slightly forwards. And it doesn't matter if you can't feel it, eventually it will come into your awareness. It's not necessary to have that awareness, but we use it as a grounding point. And now feel for the space between the breaths at the tip of your tailbone. Feeling the beauty of that quiet at the base of our spine. When you're ready, gently allow your attention to move up to the space below your belly button. When you're ready, allow your attention to come up to your solar plexus. I find that experiences where somebody's tried to bully me tend to stick in this energy center. So let's see how much of that we can let go in this moment. Allowing that stillness to come into the center of the space. When you're ready, gently allow your attention to come up to the center of your heart, right in the middle of your chest. Feel that heart just open. Feel for the space between the breaths. When you're ready, allow your attention to rise to your throat center. Feel for the space between the breaths in your throat. When you're ready, gently take your awareness through the roof of your mouth and above the junction of the hard and soft palate. Feel into the third eye, behind and between your eyebrows. Breathe into that space and feel for the stillness. When you're ready, take your attention above your head, allowing yourself to feel that openness. It's measured as 8 finger breadths above our head, where the energy center is. Feel for the stillness between the breaths in that space. And when you're ready, take your attention to the high heart near the top of the sternum, the breastbone, and feel for the unification of your third eye and your heart center in that space. This is where we genuinely find the visceral wisdom in our body. And now feel for the flow between these energy centers. And a simple way to do that is to breathe down the front and up the back. As we unify our energetic field. Now, as you're ready, gently open your eyes. How is everybody this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I I have a question.
Mm.
I I started taking a new remedy and it's it's working very deeply in in almost like my childhood imprints.
Oh,
Yeah. And I'm trying to let it go, but at the same time, I don't know what it is. And you think if it's so, like, if there's no story to it or if there's no like conscious memory of it, it would be easy to let go. But it's actually, I'm finding it kind of difficult because I don't know what it is. I just know it's there and it's bringing up a lot of things, but I don't know. I don't know. It's like it's just the subconscious picked it up as a kid or something. And
so the thing to do is if you don't need to know, you don't need to know, and just take that as a gift and allow what it is your cells are off-gassing tension from the past. And so you just have a wide road for that tension to off gas. And you don't need to identify with it in any way, except that it's, something somebody else put on you that if you don't need to know, be grateful. If your body really needs you to figure it out, it will tell you. And so you can trust the wisdom of your beingness to present you with what needs to be worked on and to allow whatever you can just let go of to let go and just be grateful that it's off gassing. That you got a good remedy that actually knows, your beingness knows the pathway to enlightenment and you trust it. You don't have to make anything happen. It's about allowing. Does that make sense?
hmm
Mm. But there's something that isn't satisfied with that answer. So talk.
mm, I guess I don't I don't know uh I don't know how in some ways. Like it's you pick something up, you let it go. Makes sense. But this is like, do I don't know what I need to do to let this go. Do I need rest? Do I need
Just
space?
don't pour your attention into it.
Okay.
Just let it be, and if it needs something, it will tell you. You can trust the process in that way. You don't need to do anything about it. Just let it be.
Okay. That's easy enough.
Well, yeah, it may be a little bit like an itch, like you don't know how to scratch.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so just let it be. If it needs to be scratched, it'll tell you how. But until you get real directions about what to do with it, don't do anything. Just let it be.
Okay.
And be grateful that you are transforming these deep energies, which, you know, need to be transformed for you to transcend. But when there's no information, and you just don't make anything of it. If there's anything to make of it, it will tell you. You can't escape that what you need to know.
Mm,
And so you make yourself available to whatever needs your attention, and you allow everything else to just be released in the wash so that there's no denial, but there's no, trying to unearth something that maybe doesn't need to be unearthed. It will tell you, and you just allow yourself to be available to whatever work needs to be done and whatever needs to just be released. And don't have any particular judgment about it till there's something to, truly address. Does that make sense?
it does.
So all you know that it's energy that's off gassing
Yeah.
from a remedy that's trying to deeply heal, so that there would be some off gassing, no big surprise.
Hmm.
Good news.
Very good.
Yeah. So just allow it to vibrate through you, and don't grab onto something unnecessarily, because it can bring some complication at a time you really don't need it.
Thank you.
So welcome. We hope that's helpful.
It is. Thank you.
How may we serve?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Uh, what the heck is going on astrologically? My sweet, peaceful life is no longer sweet and peaceful. I have strange communications coming toward me, family gossip that I don't partake in. Physically, I'm not in a good way. I find myself to be hypersensitive lately, easily annoyed, cranky. I just completely off, and I'm not comfortable with being so off.
So, Sun and K2 are coming together, and both of them are quite powerful. And Sun is authority, father, all these patterns that were put in place in our childhood that um, really don't serve, but they're going to be activated right now. And the best thing to do is Ganesh mantra, because Ganesh, uh,
Ganesha.
yes, clears the obstructions from our path. And Ganesh is the mantra for K2.
Oh, give me that mantra again.
Well, it can be as simple as Om Gam Ganapatiye, Gom, Ganapati, Ganapati. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha.
Thank you. Ay, ay, ay.
Do that 108 times and see if it doesn't calm things down internally. And if it doesn't, do it for another 108. And, you know, I forget the number to do for K2, 7,000, because K2's period, in the cycles, it's 7 years. So you do 1,000 repetitions of a mantra for every year that it will be the most activated one in your chart, and that will placate the energies of that planet. And so when you say the mantra, you are saying the mantra to the K2 and the Ganesh within you. You're not saying it to something outside yourself. You are calming the fire within yourself. K2 is a fiery planet, and so is Sun. Does that make sense?
Yes, do you have any tips on how to keep track of 108? Just- I I just keep getting lost.
Oh, do you have a mola?
Yeah.
Use it. It's got 108 beads.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Just count it once to make sure it's true.
Yeah. Well, it's a Laura Modena mala, so I'm sure it's right.
Yes, yes. So one of those is 108. And 108 is, um, well, it has a lot of astrological meaning. There are 27 houses of the moon, and within each house of the moon, there are 4 divisions. You don't need to know that except that the multiplication is 108. And so 108 is a really powerful astrological number, and the moon is in control of our emotional body.
Yeah.
So the moon is where all our feeling nature originates. And I'm one of those people that has a Saturn and moon conjunction, and Saturn is the planet of obstruction. So having that in the same house as moon creates a lot of natural emotional heaviness. And because I know I have that, it means I have to clear the decks first thing every day. In some way or another, I have to drop all the heaviness in the beginning, first thing, because it's always there when I wake up. That's just the nature of the deck I've been dealt. But knowing that, I just get up and drop the heaviness first thing, and try to get into a really open feeling place. And it turns out that Saturn's a, a, a very solid, I would say in many ways, helpful place for me. but placating K2 is a very good thing to be doing at this time. Is that helpful?
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
Well, I'm just hoping this works. Uh,
I would go to the Inasa temple and wish everybody well regularly. And in wishing everybody well, you will be wishing yourself well.
yeah,
And
good.
that
Thank you.
will, yeah, that will really make this upward flow. It'll,
That'll move it along.
yes, and it will put some generosity into it, you know, so that you're expanding everybody else at the same time you're not engaging in the physical, but you're engaging where you can really make a difference.
Good.
But the best thing is that any interaction you have with any of these people has to come from a completely non-reactive space in you. And yeah, that's not so trustworthy until you've been to the Inasa temple a few times. Does that make sense?
Yes, and not so long ago, all this was so clear and easy and sweet, and it's just like it's all exploded.
Well, people who are uncomfortable in themselves, what's happening in the external world is just magnifying all of that by, as much as intensity as they can muster. And so, people who haven't done their inner work are just being completely thrown for a loop, like every 24 hours or less by the events that are happening outside us. Because, all of our all of our assumptions about our reality are being challenged on a regular basis. And so to hold steady, if you've never practiced holding steady, is impossible.
Yeah,
So we can be a little bit compassionate about people who haven't had the opportunity to practice any of those skills. I mean, here you are speaking from a very sane place and observing rather than reacting. I mean, in what decade of your life would this have been so easy? Exactly. So we can't exactly hold others to our own expectations of ourselves. These are capacities you've worked very, very hard to be holding to. And look, you're holding to it. This is
yeah,
this is great. You know, this is not at all defeating your inner work. You are rising to the occasion and going, wow, look at all this. This is really something. This is just the kerfuffle that they live in every day. And the external events are, giving them, they're activating those kerfuffles within them that have yet to be resolved. And so that's what you're seeing. And when you understand that, you can be really compassionate because you know exactly what that feels like.
Yes, I was very happy when I observed that I didn't engage. I just listened and hmm, it was just an
Exactly.
observation.
Yeah.
But
So,
these people are just as wacky as ever.
well, of course, they're not involved in self-transformation.
Right.
So, that it gets calm for a while is a blessing. But everything is constantly a dynamically moving, and things are moving faster and faster. It's just that when we go into sacred space, that transcends time and space. And so we don't have that same urgency uh, to anything because we know where the sacred space is. And that goes into stillness. And in stillness, there isn't any time. And there's nothing but space. So, we get recalibrated on a regular basis when we do that. But people who don't know to do that, they're just at the mercy of whatever the strongest energy that happens to come into their field, that's what they're reacting to. So we have to understand and keep our distance and wish them well regularly.
Exactly.
But, we try to stay out of the line of fire. But, that's not always possible. So if we have to engage, we have to engage.
Well,
But
I do
then we
my best to I do my best to sidestep that. They're talking
absolutely,
about crap that happened 30 years ago. I can't believe this.
yeah,
You know,
well,
like what?
well, you could be perfectly legitimate to say, I don't remember, because you probably don't most of the time.
I try to not remember.
Yeah, well, there's there's no need to engage that.
Right.
You really have to, and always the Inasa temple first.
It feels so wonderful to know that I have that choice.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much
Mm, thank you.
for reminding me.
Yeah, we all need this in this time. It's crazy bonkers out there.
Woo! I did take my remedy, and I'm thinking maybe I need to take a redose again.
Yes, and possibly you need a higher dose at this point.
I think I've gone as high as I can go.
There's probably a 10 M.
Hmm, okay. I shall speak to my homeopath.
Good idea. Good idea.
Thank you, Becky.
So welcome. Yes.
Hi. Oh
Hi.
boy, is this resonating? Hi,
Mhm.
resonating with what's been going on over here. Um, so in the ongoing saga with our daughter, she the last text was listen to me, listen to me, listen to your child. It's not about you. I need to let you know all the hurts that you've given me. And up until this time, I've been sidestepping because that didn't sound like something I really wanted to step into. But she's saying now we don't have a whole lot of time to fix our relationship. We don't have a lot of time. I guess she means I'm getting old, and that's absolutely true. Um, and she believes she believes that fixing the relationship requires me to hear all her grievances,
So
all the
ask her to
hurts
write
that
them
I've
all
done.
down.
And I, pardon me, what did you say?
You can ask her to write them all down and then you burn
Hmm.
it. Just burn it.
Oh, that sounds really simple. So what I have done though, well, I've been spending a lot of time in the temple and also consulting the I Ching. The sage is my guide from the I Ching, and Anasa is my guide at the temple, and I think they are the same thing. And the wonderful thing about the I Ching is that they're words that I can read and feel them resonating and changing things as I'm reading. And so I asked my guides, the higher power, okay, what? And I was instructed that this is an opportunity for me, as all adversities are, to learn something and to practice what I think I've been learning. And one of the things is that I can listen now. I'm going to be practicing listening without going into reaction, without um, having to defend myself or explain myself or correct whatever I think she's wrong about. Just hear her out and then leave it, which is kind of like having the list and burning it, but
You burn
letting
it
it
as
go.
it comes
One of the
in.
things that pardon me,
Sorry.
burn it as it comes in, did you say?
Yes. Yeah, you just see it going up in smoke as it comes toward you. It's not for you, it's for her to off gas. It's not for you to take in.
Right, exactly. This that part of it is not to do with me. And
Mm.
I understand. She says, it's not about you, Mom, but of course she's trying to make it about me. And but it isn't about me. Um, it's
But
whatever
here,
she's doing, and she, she wants to do this, and she's been wanting to do it for years. And she's been trying to do it in texts, in emails, in comments, and this sort of thing. So I feel as though she will have the opportunity to see if it actually does fix things for her, but that's not my problem. My work is my own correcting my own mental habits, my own tendency to get sucked into the vortex. Um, anyway, there are a whole lot of things that I might have the opportunity to practice in this space. And I told her I'm willing to sit quietly and listen to what she has to say. Um, and she can pick a time for that. Anyway, it seems like one way or another, there can be a productive outcome, a positive outcome from this. And my work will be, well, it will be tested in a way, in real life. I mean, I get to do that with my husband over here, um, in a very gentle way because we are already friends and we acknowledge that. With her, uh, I would like to get to a place of friendliness, and she calls that pretending that things are okay. Um, but that's where, for me, trust begins, is in this gentle, um, allowing each other to be who we are. And anyway, I've had a chance to practice with my husband, but that's kind of easy compared to this.
Yes.
And
So we have a
and
lot to say.
I'm going to plug you back in so I can actually hear you very clearly.
Okay.
Hang on. You're not going to be able to hear me.
Okay. Well, of course, what she wants to do is poop on your carpet. And the more expensive the carpet, the more gratification she will receive from that. So, uh, that's the first thing. And she wants to make a mess that you have to clean up and that you have to apologize for as you clean up her mess. But this has been the story of your relationship for a very long time. She's not interested in transformation. This is not news to you, but you need to understand that she's interested in dumping dark energy on you and having you take it away from her because then that makes her feel like she's at least free of that dark energy for a minute. But then, of course, she will build more. So you have done nothing to relieve her tension except create more space for her to do it again. And this has been the story of your relationship. Until she is interested in transformation, that possibility is not there. There's nothing you can do to make that transformation happen for her except to model what transcendence looks like yourself. And so having any expectation as you move into this is a big mistake. Don't have any expectation that anything different is going to happen. And she is not going to change her behavior based on anything that you do. There's nothing you can do that will make her change her behavior. Understand that the only person who can make her change her behavior is herself. And she hasn't come to that realization that she has any responsibility in this issue. And so her whole purpose, her life purpose, is to get you to acknowledge that you completely screwed her up and that every problem she has in her life is your fault. But she's not even solution oriented about that. So there's nothing you can do, even if you take responsibility for all the things that she's accusing you of, that will not change a thing. So there is nothing that you can do that's going to change this situation. The only thing that can change it is her coming to the understanding that her life is her responsibility, not yours. And you can't tell her that. So all you can do is duck and cover. And, inviting her to come poop on your carpet is not going to solve anything. Yeah.
The the only benefit that I'm looking for in this encounter, which everything you described is absolutely true, in my experience. And the only benefit is for me to practice what I've been learning about how to deal with others, whatever you call it,
It's pain.
judgments, criticisms, pain.
She's
Yes,
pain.
exactly, exactly. And I've known forever that it isn't about me, and that um, so I'm not attached to results with her, really. Um, I don't expect anything from her, a change of any sort. What this is for is my practice. I have bad habits that I've been examining and correcting. And I don't get a chance often to see if it's actually something I can practice in life, in real life. I feel it in myself. Um, but anyway, I have allowed her to poop on my carpet for years now, and I know the futility in trying to defend or explain or correct her perceptions. That was that was very clear that that would be completely futile. Over and over again, she's taught me that, and she doesn't want to hear from me. She really doesn't. She's she said something odd in the last text, like it implied that after I'm dead, she'll listen to me, which was very strange. But anyway, so what you're saying is just strengthens my resolve, and I could still sidestep this session, this occasion, and I feel as though I'm strong enough to respond with equanimity and love and compassion for, I mean, I've been helped when I've been in caught in the throes in the web, and so I can wish her well and let it go. At this point, if I do this, she may come up with other things, but at least I've given her the opportunity to quote unquote fix things, and we'll just hope for the best for her. But for me, it's just a
We didn't catch that last word.
it's a way for me to practice.
So we're going to give you a few pointers of what to do energetically when you're actually with her. Can you hear? We want to talk about how to be with her energetically. Can you hear okay? Can you hear now? You can hear now? Give me a yes or a no. Can you hear? Okay. So we want to give you some tips on how to be energetically in her presence. So you pull your attention down below your belly button And you hold it there no matter what she says. And you might even let your arms drape at your sides so your fingers are pointing down and the tension is just going off you as it comes in. So you have an open system, but you're letting all the tension go off you as quickly as it comes in. You're not taking it in. You are not her sewer, except for this moment where you're with her, you're allowing her to off gas. And then what you do is you send energy this way that comes down on top of her from the Anasa temple. So you've got this flow that's going like this toward her with nothing but good wishes. And you're just maintaining that circular flow the entire time you're with her. And you have already invited Anasa in to be guiding that flow. And you're dropping the tension and feeding her at the same time. And you just be silent in yourself and wait for her to off gas. Quite literally, she'll be a volcano of shit coming toward you. A tsunami is a better word. And so you can just allow that to pass. None of it has anything to do with you. If you touch any of it, you will be triggered. Do not touch it. It's
I
plain.
know that's true. That's my practice, by the
Yeah.
way. That's what I feel is my practice. Um, I've been triggered every time, and it's time for me to grow up in that area for sure.
Well, you have to understand that this is like a 2-year-old doing the windmill punching. And you have the hand on the forehead, holding it out of reach and not letting it touch you. And you're just letting it pass through because this person needs to off gas. And at a certain point, you might be able to say, can we solution orient and see how that lands when they run out of steam? And there'll be some demand, like not until,
Okay, we'll see if that's appropriate. I'm not expecting I'm not expect I'm not expecting anything actually, but to offer anything solution oriented seems far-fetched at this point. I love below the belly button, and then something I can do with love without getting involved, really, in a way, allowing the higher energy to do its work. Um, I am just allowing it.
your silence may be inciting because the whole goal is to get you to react. That's like the only thing that's wanted.
Are
And
you
so
there?
to just be silent will incite such vehemence
Excuse me,
that,
you're
can you hear me?
now I can. You were breaking up before and it was frozen for a minute, but I can hear you now.
Okay, your silence may be very inciting to her. Your silence will incite her to greater and greater vehemence toward you in an attempt to get a reaction. And so
Yeah.
just being there silent And allowing her to cover you with shit without responding will not solve anything because she'll
Well,
demand a
I did
response.
say in my, okay, well, I said in my text in response to her text that I am willing to sit quietly while she lets me know what she wants me to hear. But I did put in there, sit quietly. Um, I don't know if that will make any difference, but that was part of my agreement, my part of the agreement.
Well, the thing is, you think you're making a contract. She feels that she has no obligation to honor anything about you.
I
There,
know.
and so, you know, you're just walking into a shitstorm, and there will be nothing but demand until she gets to a demand that you can't capitulate to, and then you'll be back to square one.
Well, one of the pieces of advice was you neither cater to um, the demands or heed them. And so I'm thinking that I feel protected in a way from the shit. I don't the part of it that's my work is to not be triggered. And that goes along with my work on anger issues, my shadow side. And so it's just it seems like it's part of the problem that I have. And is there any harm in listening to her? I
Well,
mean, is there any, what did you say?
so the problem is what's your vision for how this conversation will end?
I will get up and leave.
What if there's no end to the shitstorm?
Well, there's got to be. We've got to eat and sleep.
There is no way you will be able to leave gracefully. We don't see it.
What about saying, okay, thank you very much. I've got to be going now.
It will leave unfulfilled, unfinished, just like it's going to start.
For her, for her perhaps, but not necessarily for me. I have no expectations of it solving anything because it is not my way at all to do what she does. That is almost opposite to the way that I handle things in my relationships with others. But, you
It,
know,
it we would encourage you to work in the Inasa temple a bit longer before you do this.
yes, I don't have a time yet, and I do it every day, and I've been really concentrating on the mantra too. I say it when I'm gardening. I say it, when I'm cooking. Um, I really feel like this is like a turning point for me. It's for me. It's not about her. Really, it's she's just the excuse for me to deepen my understanding and my um resoluteness. Um, I feel, and that's the only upside to it at this point. As I say, I have no expectations where she's concerned.
Well, probably she will accuse you of being a cold, heartless bitch at the end.
I don't care. I don't care. That's just one thing to add to the list, you know. Um, it it's sticks and stones will break my bones kind of thing, and names will never hurt me. I really feel like I might be strong enough now. I haven't felt strong enough not to be triggered. I haven't practiced letting things go, dispersing my anger and alienation. I've been practicing that.
Well, really, we would encourage you to wait for a time when there might be the potential of some opening, because we agree that you'll be able to sit there and be okay, but the relationship will be harmed further by your passive uh, engagement, we'll call it.
But she's always objected to my saying anything.
And she always will,
Even,
but
so
don't encounter her until there's some possibility for change. It's too,
how will
it
I
will
know?
make it worse.
How will I know when there's some possibility? It's been
Oh,
a
when she
decade.
stops blaming, you know, it's not,
How
it's
will I know? When
this,
I meet with her, we meet in person occasionally when there's family gatherings and that sort of thing. The last one was an interesting. We rescued her partner on the hottest day last Sunday after we had Anasa from the side of the freeway where his car had broken down. And then she came to get him, and we had a meal at a restaurant, and it was quite friendly and um, I would have thought now is an opportunity. Now could be, but I see that every time I'm with her, there's this charming, lovely person, and I think, well, maybe, there's an opening here, but no. And so I don't know if I'd be able to recognize an opening if it, you know, came about.
the opening will come when the blame stops. But our recommendation is to wait for that. Don't, this doesn't have any potential for improvement. And your ego doesn't need it. So wait.
Well, even though there isn't a potential for improvement in our relationship, might there not be a potential for improvement in my own inner balance and equanimity and uh,
Not from, no, not from this encounter. This it's the wrong time.
well,
There's
okay.
there's too much
Wow.
chaos. There's just too
Too
much chaos.
too much what?
Chaos.
Chaos. Okay.
We would encourage you to stick to the Inasa temple. It's working. Trust it to work over time and wait. There will be a time.
Okay.
This can make things
Okay.
worse. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I know our time is almost run out.
Yeah. Well,
Love
let's
to
take a few
everybody.
minutes.
Thanks for your patience.
You're so welcome. And we're so grateful to be here with everybody. We really enjoy this. Let's take a few minutes to get back into our sacred space before we part. So let's take a few deep breaths. Below the belly button, holding to the stillness between the breaths, reasserting our commitment to sacred space. Allowing that connection to our own divinity. Embracing that quiet joy together and the beauty of shared sacred space that brings us to this place every week. We celebrate this. We celebrate the rarity of the capacity to share this. Thank you so, so much for being here with us, for cultivating this, for coming back time after time to sacred space. So much love to you all. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. No program next week. Sorry, we'll be in astrology land. So much love to you all. Bye for now.